Good afternoon, and welcome to the Maryland Public Service Commission this June 10, 2021. Today, we are conducting a hearing on the record in the matter of cases 9056 and 9064 relating to standard offer service and bill impacts relating to SOS bids made on June 7, 2021. Let us begin by taking appearances for the record. Let's start with Baltimore Gas and Electric. Is there a representative from Baltimore Gas and Electric?
Sorry, I'm here. I hit the wrong button.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, Beverly Sikora for BGE.
Good afternoon. Potomac Electric. Potomac Edison.
Good afternoon, Robin Leone on behalf of the Potomac Edison Company.
Great, thank you and welcome. Pepco.
Good afternoon. Matt Seeger is appearing for Pepco, and Delmarva Power. Also appearing with me is Miss Diana Novak.
Hi, good afternoon. Office of People's Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Commissioners. Joseph Cleaver on behalf of the Office of People's Counsel.
Okay, and finally, Office of Staff Counsel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Lloyd Spivak on behalf of the Commission staff. With me today to testify are Frank Mossberg of Bates White and Drew McAuliffe of the Commission staff.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Spivak. You may proceed with your witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Commission staff calls Frank Mossberg to the stand, please.
Mr. Mossberg, good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Do you solemnly swear under the penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Witness is sworn.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Mossberg.
Good afternoon, Mr. Spivak.
Do you have in front of you a document captioned in case numbers 9056 and 9064 entitled Direct Testimony of Frank Mossberg, Bates White, LLC on behalf of the Commission staff of the Public Service Commission of Maryland and dated June 10th, 2021?
I do.
Does the document consist of 8 pages of question and answer testimony and 1 exhibit?
Yes, it does.
Did you prepare this document or was it prepared under your direct supervision?
I prepared.
Do you have any additions, deletions, or other corrections you would like to make at this time?
I do not.
And if the questions were asked of you now as they are asked in this document, would your answers be the same?
Yes, they would.
Do you adopt this document as part of your sworn testimony in this proceeding?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, staff requests that Mr. Mossberg's testimony be marked as Staff Exhibit 1 and moved into the evidentiary record.
Mr. Mossberg testimony is so marked and will be Staff Exhibit 1 and moved into evidence.
Thank you. Mr. Mossberg, can you give us a brief summary of your testimony, please?
Certainly. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Again, I'm Frank Mossberg from Bates White. We were the technical monitor for this 4th bid day of the 2020-2021 RFP for standard offer service. We would recommend that you accept the results of this past Monday's bid day, and we say so for 4 reasons. First, the bidding was open, fair, and transparent. All bidders offered the same product and signed the same contracts, including utility affiliates. So the winning bidders were selected solely on the basis of price. I should mention here that there were 2 modifications from the traditional plans, and these modifications have been in use for the past several bid days, but they still warrant mentioning. First, due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, all bid evaluation and receipt was conducted remotely. All bids were submitted through a single Bates White email address, and only after the close of the bid window did we distribute the bids to the appropriate utilities. We also confirmed the winners and winning prices and monitored the notification of the winning and losing bidders. The second modification is that we used a proxy price for the time period of June 2023 through May 2024. So when those actual prices are known, bidders will pay or be paid a true-up for the difference when those charges are actually incurred. One difference as compared to the past is that PJM did finally conduct one of its capacity auctions for the time period of June 2022 to May 2023. And so bidders were instructed to use the actual prices for that particular time period. The second reason we would recommend acceptance is that the bid was competitive, and here I can share a few metrics publicly. First, there were 9 bidders as compared to 10 last January. The reason I compare to last January was because we were looking for a similar mix of products that is mostly type 2 with a little bit of Potomac Edison residential supply. This time around, for the entire auction, we also had 5 megawatts bid for every megawatt needed. That compares to 5.5 megawatts bid for every megawatt needed in January. So down a little bit, but still pretty robust. And finally, we had 5 winners as compared to 4 winners last January. The third reason we would recommend acceptance is that prices were consistent with broader market conditions. There were no bids rejected due to the imposition of the price anomaly threshold, or PAT. And the fourth and final reason is that there were no violations of any RFP rules or commission orders governing competitive bidding. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Mr. Mossberg. Do commissioners have any questions for Mr. Mossberg? Seeing none, the witness is excused. Mr. Spivak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The commission staff calls Drew McAuliffe.
Mr. McAuliffe, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
If you could please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear under the penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. The witness is sworn.
Good afternoon, Mr. McAuliffe.
Good afternoon.
Do you have in front of you a document captioned in case numbers 9056 and 9064, titled "The Commission Staff's Report on the Standard Offer Service Bidding Process and Results for 2021 to 2023, and dated with today's date"?
I do.
Did you prepare this document, or was it prepared under your direct supervision?
I did.
Does it consist of 10 pages of information presented in both table and text form?
Yes, it does.
Do you have any additions, deletions, or other corrections you would like to make at this time?
No.
And do you adopt this document as part of your sworn testimony in this proceeding?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, staff requests that the staff report be marked as Staff Exhibit 2, and further moves that it be admitted into the evidentiary record.
The the testimony will be so marked and entered into evidence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. McAuliffe, can you give us a brief summary of the contents of the staff report?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Spivak. I'll provide a brief overview of staff's report of the estimated bill impacts of the standard offer service bidding conducted on June 7th, 2021. SOS bids were received for Type 2 service and Potomac Edison residential service. I'll begin with the Potomac Edison residential. Please turn to page 2. The bill impact estimates compare average estimated bills from June 2021 to May 2022 to June 2022 to May 2023. The average residential bill for a PE customer will decrease 4.6%, which translates to $67 per year. The SOS portion of the bill is decreasing 8.4%. Next, I'll review the Type 2 estimated average bill impacts. Please turn to page 3. This compares estimated bills from September through November 2020 to September through November 2021. Additionally, a comparison of the SOS rates from summer to fall is also provided. An overview of the results for the 4 utilities is provided on page 3. Please turn to page 6 for Potomac Edison's results. Average bills for fall 2021 increased 13 to 17% from fall 2020. SOS rates are increasing 0.6% from summer to fall. Please turn to page 7 for BGE's results. The average bills for fall 2021 show an increase of 17 to 18% relative to fall 2020. SOS rates are increasing 1 to 4% from summer to fall. Please turn to page 8 for Delmarva's results. Average bills for fall 2021 are increasing 9% from fall 2020. SOS rates are decreasing about 5% from summer to fall. Finally, please turn to page 9 for Pepco. Average bills for fall 2021 are increasing approximately 4% from fall 2020, and SOS rates are increasing 5% from summer to fall. This concludes my summary. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. McAuliffe. Are there any questions for Mr. McAuliffe? Seeing none, the witness is excused. Mr. Spivak, do you have anything further?
No, Mr. Chairman, that concludes staff's presentation this afternoon.
Great, thank you, Mr. Spivak. Does anyone else wish to be heard at this proceeding? Seeing no one, this hearing is adjourned.